What's going on YouTube? My name is Miles and today I'm going to be bringing you a real versus fake video for the Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 cream whites. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. When comparing the two boxes, one of the things you want to notice is the size of the box as well as the condition. So on my left is the real box and on my right is the fake box. And here you can see that the real box is a lot smaller than the fake box. Another thing you'll notice is that with the real box, the edges are really sharp and there's no cracks in the box. But with the fake box, you can see there's a ton of cracks in the box and the edges aren't nearly as sharp. So here we have the label of the real box. And you can see that the art number is CP9366 and the style colors are C white, C white, C white, black cray, black cray, black cray. And then here you can see the EAN number, and you want to make sure that number matches the inside label of the shoes. But on the fake box label, you can see that they actually got the art number right, CP9366, but the style colors are cream white, core white, blaze, blaze. And then here is the EAN number, and you want to make sure that number matches the inside label of the shoes. So unwrapping the real pair, you'll notice that the only thing that should come in the box is the shoes themselves, 2 pieces of wrapping paper, and a receipt depending on where you bought the shoes from. So there are the shoes. Here is the first sheet of wrapping paper, and there's a second sheet of wrapping paper. I've already taken the receipt out, and then you can see nothing else comes in the box. But when you open the fake box, you can see there's the first shoe. There is the other shoe. Comes with Adidas socks and one really long piece of wrapping paper, and nothing else is in the box. Another thing you'll notice when comparing the two shoes is that the bottom heel of the real pair is a little bit more narrow than it is on the fake pair. The fake pair is a little bit wider, a little bit thicker. So let me zoom in on the real pair to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So when I zoom in on the real pair, you can see that bottom heel there. But when I bring you to the fake pair, you can see that it is a little bit too wide, a little bit too thick. Another thing you'll notice is that on the bottom of the heel on the real pair, there's like 2 lines that nearly intersect. You can see them there. So let's see if they have that on the fake pair. And you can see that they actually do have that. Another thing you want to take notice of is the vertical stitching. So here we have the real pair. And when you look at the vertical stitching on the back of the heel, you don't see any loose ends or anything like that. But on the fake pair, when you look at the vertical stitching, they kind of have you have some loose ends at the top. So they got a little bit lazy with the stitching on the back of the heel. Another thing you want to look at is the rectangular box on the heel tab. So here we have the rectangular box on the real pair. And you can see that it's a little bit thicker on the real pair. But when you come over here to the fake pair, you can see that same box is too thin. It's a little bit more narrow on the fake pair. Another thing you want to look at on the toe of the real pair, you can see that threading, it's a really fine thread, high quality thread. and you don't see any loose ends there or any excess glue. But when I bring you over here to the fake pair, you can see that that threading is kind of attached to that rubber outsole of the toe with glue. Another thing you want to take note of is the 3 Adidas stripes on the inside of the heel. When I zoom in on the real pair, you can see that those stripes are evenly spaced. They're really white, and they sit really flat on the heel, on the inside of the heel. But on the fake pair, they're a little bit more of a cream color, and they're not as evenly spaced, and they bulge out a little bit. They don't sit as flat on the heel. Another thing you want to look at is the swing tags. So on the real pair, you have 2 swing tags, and one of them will explain that some, let me see if I can focus in on it. Yeah, some color migration can occur due to the nature of the material. And then you have just this Adidas product tag. But on the fake pair, you only get this one swing tag that reads some color migration can occur due to the nature of the material. It doesn't come with that other swing tag. So, you know, that's obviously another red flag there. So another thing you want to look at is the sock liners. So when comparing the 2 sock liners, one thing you want to take note of when I zoom in here on the logo of the real sock liner, you can see the lines are really sharp and evenly spaced. But here on the logo of the fake sock liner, you can see those same lines aren't nearly as sharp and evenly spaced. They almost look unfinished. What we'll look at is the back of the sock liner. Here we have the back of the real sock liner, and here we have the back of the fake sock liner. So there's not much of a difference there. But another thing you really want to look at is the size range on the 2 sock liners. So at the bottom we have the real one, and you can see that the size range is 10 to 11. And on the fakes though, it's 10 to 11 and a half. Another thing you want to look at is the insole of the 2 shoes. So here is the insole of the real pair. Just want you to take a look at that. And here is the insole of the fake pair. Okay, so there's not much of a difference there. But another thing you really want to look at is the inside label of the shoes. And you'll notice that the bottom 4 numbers read 2597, so that's the end of the security number. And you want to make sure that those last few numbers are different on the other shoe. That security number should be different. That bottom number should be different by at least 1 digit. And you can see here on the other shoe is 3577. So that number is different. So let's see if they got that right on the fakes. And you can see it's 0748. Those last 4 numbers, they're on that shoe. And let's check the other shoe to see if those numbers are different. And you can see that it's 0744 here on the other fake shoe. So they actually did get that right on the fakes. I just wanted to show you exactly what I was talking about. So really make sure you check that those security numbers are different on each shoe. Lace tips are also a good indicator. So when I zoom in, you can kind of see that the lace tips are sealed with like a clear cap. There aren't really any loose ends showing. It's pretty, it's sealed nicely, sealed tight. But on the fake pair, so you can kind of see that it's split open. When you look at the Boost material, one of the things you'll notice as I get closer to the real pair here is that there's 4 vertical lines grouped together in each area. But on the fake pair, it's actually 3 vertical lines grouped together. Okay. Another thing you really want to take note of is the rigid texture in the Boost material. So on the fake pair, it's a lot more rigid. That texture is more noticeable. But on the real pair, it's a little bit smoother. It doesn't stand out as much. Now I'm going to put the shoes through the UV light test, starting with the real pair. And so you can see that pattern on the side. And it should also glow in the dark on the vertical stitching of the back heel. And let's see if it has that on the fake pair. See that? Let's check the stitching on the vertical heel. Okay. But one of the differences that I noticed when trying to see if they pass the UV light test is that when you shine the light, the UV light on the inside of the shoes, you see how on the real pair, the stitching and the insole glows, the holes in the insole glow. But on the fake pair, look at that. The holes in the insole don't glow. And neither does the stitching. I know this might sound weird, but you can really smell the difference in the 2 shoes as well. So right here on my left is the real pair and on my right is the fake pair. So just smelling the real pair and the fake pair, the real pair basically smell like new shoes and the fake pair smell like glue. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed the video and if you found it helpful, be sure to drop a like below. Also, if you're new to the channel, be sure to also subscribe. And let me know what video you want to see next, what authentication video you want to see next. And I'll be sure to get that out to you as soon as possible. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.